Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a bonus reading that I'm doing for each zodiac sign in Western zodiac to see how the Chinese zodiac affects each of us. And the major difference between the Chinese and the Western zodiac is the Chinese zodiac actually doesn't begin until February 17th because it follows the lunar cycle, whereas the Western zodiac is based on the solar system and celestial stars, and it already began January 1st. Happy New Year. This is one day, this will come out on January 2nd. It's January 1st today. The Chinese New Year starts on February 17th, and it's the year of the fire horse. This is one day before we move in the Western zodiac from Aquarius to Pisces energy. Pisces, you are the astrological star here of this insight. And if you have already blown your New Year's resolution, here is your second chance. So I'm going to begin with the underlying energy from the deck, and we have fulfillment. This is a great way to start off a new year. This energy is talking about, this is actually the marriage card for the zodiac. So if you're looking to settle down, this might be the year for it in 2026. This zodiac year actually ends on February the 7th or February the 5th next year in 27. So this is talking about having that ultimate fulfillment. This is, like, as I said, the marriage card, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be about making a commitment to yourself, a commitment to a new way of being, new holiday resolutions. That's why I say, hey, if you've already blown it, here's your second chance, and this card comes out. So Pisces, I know a lot of the time you have been left in the dust and I'm the last to get the reading. This time you're first on, because the energy is actually starting this new year off is in Pisces energy. Just leaving Aquarius one day, we're right on the cusp. So let's see what happens. I'm going to make a clock, and the clock will be month by month just to see how this affects us. If you, I do know, quite a bit about the Chinese zodiac, but it's a totally different system with some similarities. So I just want to point out, if you want to look up, your zodiac, that the Chinese zodiac is based on the year that you're born, but in there's some similarities between the Chinese and Western zodiac, and the energy just of the sign of Pisces is comparable to the energy of the rabbit. So that's the energy that this reading kind of is embracing, or that you may find find familiar, as well as the year that you were born kind of energy, if that makes sense to you. And so, oh my goodness, we have a tower right away in January. Or no, I mean in February. So the energy of the tower is a reality check coming in. That's really interesting, isn't it? So I don't, whatever's happening for you up to this point in the new year, this is kind of like a second chance. That's how I look at the energy of the Chinese zodiac. And so something may be happening in your energy in February going into March. So we're kind of like in the middle of February, and that's where I'm starting the 1 o'clock position off. And so the tower is a surprising event, like lightning strikes and these people fall out of the tower, and it's because there's some sort of reality check about what's going on. And the energy is they're falling through the sky, and one of them is really surprised, and the other one is kind of like, oh, I was worried this was going to happen, kind of energy. So we'll see what this is about. We're looking at March energy now here, and in March we have the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is known for being very, very good with taking something of taking nothing and making something of it. She is generally, quite often, this can represent someone that comes from old money, that really understands the value of money. The Pentacles represent health, wealth, and happiness on the 3D plane. And the energy is also of like quality over quantity. And so Pisces energy is way more laid back than the year of the fire horse energy. So this is something to really pay attention to for you, is that you may find that the fire horse energy is quite aggressive. It's very free-spirited. You know, think about riding a horse and how far that is from being like on the water and being a fish in the water kind of energy. So the horse allows people to ride it. Because when you think about the size of a horse and how heavy a horse is, it will be it's a choice the horse makes to allow someone to direct it. And so this is about that authority. But it's horses are actually quite free-spirited, so you have to be really aware of kind of the direction you're going. That's the energy I'm picking up here. So this is talking about you have a good grip on, you know, the pentacle energy is also representative of the coin. And also I want to point out that if you're looking up your sign or your animal in the Chinese zodiac, it's based on the year you were born, but that can be comparable to the elements and whatever. A lot of people compare the energy of Pisces to the rabbit. It might be different for you depending on what year you're born, but just kind of keeping that in mind also. So we have, and you know, you think about a rabbit and a horse, how different they really are. Then we have April energy. So in April, it feels like there's some sort of decision that you have to make. This is like a mental prison energy. It's after this reality check. It might have to do with finances. That's, you know, but it's not just finances. It's your wealth, health, and your happiness. So this energy is talking about this person is bound up. This sometimes talks about people who are kind of overwhelmed with being like in an energy of I have to be responsible, I have to, you know, go this way, I can't be free-spirited like the horse energy. And this is talking about being kind of in your own mental prison, because the swords represent the energy of thoughts, and that energy is also control of the mind, discipline of the mind, your mental thinking. And you notice that she has a blindfold on. However, there's nothing really stopping her from moving forward. I mean, she could escape this quite easily. So it's kind of like being trapped by your own mind, that kind of energy. Sometimes it can represent being unable to move from one location to another, and that could have to do with some sort of energy of the pentacles, but keeping in mind that we do have the fulfillment here. So perhaps you're thinking about moving to a new location, you know, that you feel would be a better choice for you. We'll see what that's about. I'm going to clarify with my oracle after also. And then we have the energy of the King of Pentacles. Wow, so this looks like you might be have like a partner already that you already feel fulfillment with. So the energy, the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles are generally a very pretty steady couple. And the King of Pentacles, you notice the one thing about this energy is some people might consider this couple to be a little bit boring because they're focused and they're steady and they know how to handle their money. So usually there's not a whole lot of drama in their lives, but some sort of, I feel like it may be something out of your control. And the way the economy is going here, like in Canada right now, you know, there's a lot of people, well, in North America, all over the world. It's just, it's very different. So a lot of people are having to adjust how they're using their money and how they're, you know, the way that we spend it, what we invest in, and we have to make changes possibly because of this reality check coming in. So it could be that like I'm getting this energy is about a couple that is actually quite stable and has been, but I feel like this reality check is coming from outside of you. It's kind of like something out of your control, and that's why you're feeling in this position. Because normally you would be able to, between the two of you, you would figure it out, and you would, you've always had this fulfillment. You've always been able to figure it out. That's why I feel like the reality check is probably representing a reality check that we're all going to be feeling. And this energy of the fire horse is like, it's really high spirited energy. Like, you have to rein in your emotions. And the King and the Queen of Pentacles are very good at that. But I feel like there's some sort of energy here that even between the two of you, you can't figure it out. Or it's an energy that you're not seeing eye to eye and you can't see each other's vision right at this time. So then we're moving into, so this is February, March, April, May. And this is kind of moving towards the end of the month and the beginning, almost on the cusp of each of the months. But so we'll look at June. So the June energy is a wish fulfillment. So this is talking about love and romance. And it also can be talking about something you love to do or love to be, or an energy like maybe, and I keep getting this energy maybe of wanting to change location where you're living more than anything. Maybe there's something that has come up in your work that in your career that you feel like you'd be better off somewhere else. I'm picking up an energy of, like economic factors, real estate factors, etc., that kind of energy of, just ups and downs in the market. And because quite often the pentacles are regarding land and houses, and it just keeps coming up here. So perhaps you moved somewhere and you thought that would be your wish fulfillment, and it's not working out the way you thought it would. So the energy is talking about this card. What it's saying is, the way this person is sitting, the body language represents someone who's leaking energy. They've got their feet turned out, and then they're kind of closed up here. So there's kind of, the energy isn't flowing quite as well as it needs to be. They have something, like you have 9 cups and there's 10 cups in the tarot, and that, so you're almost there. Like it's like you're almost there, and then something happens and you're like, man, this is going to set us back, kind of energy. That's what I'm feeling. This card is saying keep going, don't give up now. And this, you'll recognize this is a 9, and this energy, because this talks about the end of a cycle, and I feel like for some reason, maybe 2025 has been really challenging in your career is what's coming up. And so the energy is talking about the 2 plus 2 plus 5 is 9. And so this has been coming up in a lot of the readings. So when we move from 2025 into 2026, 2025 is a 9 year. It's the end of a cycle. And that quite often represents the same concept. And 2026 is 2 plus 2 plus 6 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1, is a whole new beginning cycle. So it's almost like a decade of energy is ending on January 1st, kind of energy, and on the 20 and we, as we move into 2026, it's a brand new cycle of like another decade of energy that's going to be different from the previous one. So whatever has been happening, that might be why there was the reality check. This card looks disturbing, but sometimes it's just really the best, awesome, most, like it's kind of talking about sometimes, the lightning hits and causes the tower, like for them to fall out of the tower and maybe have to move or something like that. But how often does lightning strike? Not very often, right? And, how often do you win the lottery? About as often as I think your chances of winning the lottery are slightly less than being hit by lightning, something like that. But what this is saying is, if you're wishing for something, it means you don't have it yet. So you don't want to get into a wishing loop. You want to keep going. Like, don't give up now, because Perhaps this move would be a really good change for you, that kind of energy. And then look, the sun's coming out. So we have February, March, April, May, June, July, right in time for summer. So things are starting to look up. This is the happiest card in the deck, and this is ultimate fulfillment. So you're doing really well. So to get that 10th cup, just make sure you stay in the game, stay focused. That's the energy. And that's one of the major challenges for the fire, this year of the fire horse, is it's a very fiery energy. It's very much like, like really ambitious and like headstrong energy. And it's also very impulsive. So you don't want to make impulsive decisions right now. And especially as a Pisces, it's just not like there's such a difference between a fish in water and a horse running on land, right? You think about it from that perspective. And the Pisces energy is used to being more of like, it's this most senior sign. Being in control of your emotions, being able to be in that place where you can be an authority figure, right? And so if you're kind of impulsively doing things, it could be very erratic for you and your family kind of energy. But the sun is coming out in July, and this energy is talking about this wish that you've always wanted since you were a child has a lot of potential to come true. The sun is shining on it. You see the sunflowers, they follow the sun. And this is saying that you have been, as long as you stay on your destined path, and don't panic and do something kind of crazy out of the norm, impulsive, and look at, this is, this little baby toddler is riding this pony with no hand, no reins, just bareback. And so that's talking about you can handle the energy of the horse this year. So that's really good energy. And we have, as I'm doing this reading, it's January, it's New Year's Day. And if I didn't say Happy New Year's, Happy New Year's. And this is saying that, I think I did, but I can't remember right now. This is saying on January 3rd, we do have the full moon coming in, and that full moon is in the energy of Cancer. It's very emotional. We're feeling it already. There were sirens all night around me, because I live close to downtown, and it was like wild out there. It really was. And the energy is like, emotions are really high. To be able to stay on your path in this kind of energy, you need to recognize, get out of the emotional waters. Don't get yourself all worked up. Don't get into arguments from impulsive actions, Don't flip people off just because they cut you off, that kind of energy. Stay on your path. We've got the domestic dog and the wolf, and they're both howling at the moon. And somehow you're quite vulnerable as a lobster coming out of the water, but you've got to navigate through there and stay on your path. That's what these two pillars represent. It also represents, look at, the sun is shining. The full moon is shining light on what you need to shed. We came out of the year of the snake on February 17th. So I'm talking, though, this full moon is on January 3rd. And this kind of energy is saying, shed whatever is not working for you, and so that you're ready for the new. Because around February 17th, you're going to be more in the energy of charging forward. So this energy is talking about the full moon energy. I'm talking about January 3rd. This is the month of August, but I feel like July and August, you're going to start seeing past the illusion that you're caught in this trap and you can't get out, and move towards being on your path again, feeling really good about whatever move you made. And maybe that will be when you do actually, if it is about moving to a new location, that you'll be actually be in a really good place to do that. It can also just talk about making a move, in your thinking, or making a move in your career. You might even decide, hey, you might be offered a totally different option for your career if it's an economical thing that's affecting the industry that you're in. We don't have a messenger yet coming in with any communication about that. So we'll see how it goes. But look at, you also have the star sign here, the star card. So this is talking about being able to dip into the universal waters and, really use that energy and then take that energy and be able to pour it onto the earth. And it's saying you were born a star, you were born to ride this wild horse. You're carrying that banner. It's not, it's challenging, but you can handle it. And it's kind of talking, this duty-bound energy is coming up. And so sometimes that can be like about family and maybe decisions for your family, like moving. If you have children, how is that going to affect them? If you have senior parents, how is that going to affect them? That kind of energy is the energy that I'm picking up. But you're born to shine. And this is the happiest card in the deck. And we do have this as the base. So, don't stay in this energy for too long. I feel like, it will start getting better as we move out of the year. And like I said, if you, if you blew your New Year's resolution already, a lot of people do, because let's face it, you're out and about on New Year's Eve and it's New Year's Day as you're coming home at 2 in the morning, that kind of energy. So we've got the Hierophant. And so the Hierophant comes in, and the Hierophant is talking about traditional structure, and that's what Pisces likes. That's the energy Pisces. I like things to be structured, that kind of energy. But the Hierophant has his hand in the form of a blessing. So this change, this is the energy I was picking up, this energy of the reality check. The Tower coming in is actually going to be a blessing in disguise for you. And so this is talking about being able to make strong judgments and in the direction that you need to go. Really good energy for that. So we have February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, towards the end of October kind of energy. Then we're going to move into November. Okay, so you're in a very competitive field. And this is talking about immature competition. I'm getting that. I don't know, like this energy I feel is going to be very different for a lot of different people depending on what you do for a living. But I do feel like there's so many changes coming in with that. We're moving from the age of Pisces, which I finally looked it up, 2,160 years in one age, and it was your age, what you liked. And we're moving into Aquarius, which is very, you take a fish out of water. Aquarius is all about the air, and a fish out of water finds it very challenging. And so it's kind of that kind of energy, and really, I'm getting this is the only card where we really actually have adolescence here, and I feel like you have a lot of young and up-and-comers in your line of work. There's a lot of competition in your line of work that you're in right now, and the energy can be really immature. I'm getting you may find it really annoying as a Piscean energy. So, and especially if you compare the energy of a horse to a rabbit, rabbits don't really want to be dealing with this kind of energy. It's irritating, is what's coming up. And this energy is also this represents conflict. And so you might have been experiencing conflict at work, and that's kind of you come home at night and you're just like, man, I just this office just brings me down, or wherever you're working, it just brings me down. People aren't they're not empowering each other. They're just so immature about the competition, that kind of energy. So just keep that in mind, that this might be, we have the blessing coming in. We know this is about fulfillment. You've got the happiest card. God's got your back. There's some sort of illusion that you have to get through about what's happening. And the illusion might be that, just as simple as a lot of people don't want change. It's just, and change is the one constant that we do have. And then we have the Fool. Okay, look at that now. Maybe something happens, for you where you're doing your best to stay where you are. I'm just as one scenario I'm picking up. You're a married couple, your kids are in school, and you're maybe waiting to move until they're done their year of school. Perhaps they might be in high school and about to graduate, and you don't want to uproot them now. I'm getting that kind of energy because they're going to be on a new journey, and then everything can change for you. So for some of you, it's that. And for some of you, this is you on the journey as well as your children, or you don't have any children, and it's not about that. But it's kind of also talking about that your line of work, your career, and that might be taking a new, a new direction. Because when it comes to career in the Fire Horse year, as I said, it's about, really big goals and ambitious goals. And also it's about adventure and doing new things. So in your career. And then we have that energy moving into the end of the lunar year, which will be around February 5th, 2027, of having to make a decision. Is it going to be this or is it going to be that? And what you need to realize, like this is the new moon energy now coming in. And the new moon energy talks about it's new. And that's what I'm getting. You are probably in a position where you realize, okay, I'm not going to be happy doing what I'm doing right now. I do have a happy family. I have this is a stable couple I'm getting, but there's a lot of conflict, and that's coming. It could be between you and you're trying to make everybody happy. That's what I'm getting. Pisces energies like that. Pisces really feel. And quite often they'll do everything in their power to keep their family happy, especially if you're the male or of the family and it's about your work and your work is the main staple. It's kind of like making sacrifices here. It has to be this or that, but I'm getting I feel like it's timing. So it's something to do with the stage of life that if you have children that they're at, or it could be the stage that your business is at, like that, it could be about regarding pension, like if you just stay for another year, kind of that. It's about timing, that kind of energy. If you're enjoying this, please do give it a like and a comment. And now they have something new on YouTube, and it's called, you can hype new channels up that have under 500,000 subscribers. So hey, hype me up. It'll help me get more views. And I'm going to clarify with my oracle, and this is Tales from the Vector. I started this in 2007, and in 2020 I completed the 64th painting. So now I'm in the getting ready to bring this out probably in the year of 2026 here at some point, but I'm gathering the information that goes along with the cards, like for the book. And so I have a website, talesfromthevector.com, and I have all the paintings on there in the gallery. And the numbers on the cards that I'm using here represent those paintings there. And in the description box below, I will put the order that they show up here in case you want to check it out and find some, you might find, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. It may empower you. Just so you know, it's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And here we go. I'm just tuning these cards in as I'm talking. My cards like to, there's just always one card that wants to come out when I'm clear. I just want to make sure there it is. Okay. So to clarify this energy, we have the Empress energy. So this is the energy of the Empress is the generator. And so it's talking about the Empress is like all four queens rolled into one. And so that energy can be male, like any of these are archetypes in the tarot. So like the queen could be a male and the king could be a female in their masculine and their feminine energy. And so this energy is talking about the Empress energy is all four queens rolled into one person. And so the ability to deal well with money, have a lot of love, and it's representing someone who's really, like, generally someone who's married, who has a family. Sometimes it can represent pregnancy or just pregnant with possibilities. So I feel like 2026 is 20 and moving, like it'll be, of course, February 2027, when the lunar year ends. So just kind of keeping that in mind, that there's some really powerful energy coming in for you. And I feel, again, it's coming up, it's timing. And then we have the energy of the need to be right. Okay. Yeah. So, this can be a karmic space where we need to be right. So it leaves us kind of in this position where we don't know what to do. We're duty bound. We're like in a mental prison of our own making a lot of the time, because, this person could just walk away and it would, undo themselves, really. So the energy is, do you need to be right to be happy? So, and sometimes it means that we're making mountains out of molehills. If it's the energy I'm picking up of being concerned, I keep getting concerned about the children. So, like, if a lot of people are in that situation, if you are concerned about your children, that's an awesome thing. Having said that, they're more resilient than you know, and it might actually be a really good move for them also. The universe works in mysterious ways. We have the High Priestess. So this is saying to really use your intuition after that reality checks. Don't get into such a mental prison here, and like here, where you can't see what you need to recognize that there's a way out, and that you need to go inward to find. That's what this is saying. Don't overthink things, and go inward. Don't have a closed mind to all the different options that are available there. And then about things being in the new is what's coming up. Then we look at that. We have Cancer, the adolescent, that energy I was talking about. So the Cancer full moon is very emotional, because that is the energy of, if you think of adolescent girls that are starting their cycle and how up and down the emotions can be, that's kind of the energy of the moon. And that's what we have right now, today, as I'm speaking. You can feel it. And this could also be talking about, you might have adolescent girls that you don't want to disrupt in the energy, like moving, So that's the energy that's been coming up. And then we have, and also, but it's talking about the moon, and it's talking about, I feel like the moon now, recognize, don't make a decision, because this energy from the year of the horse is already, we can feel it because of all the new cycle, like that cycle from 2025 ending and moving into a brand new 10-year cycle. This energy is like wanting to make a decision. And so this is saying, don't make decisions when you're in this energy, when you're all emotional, because it's not going to, I'm getting it won't benefit you. Don't be impulsive. That the thing about the fire horse energy, it makes us want to be impulsive. And so the star is coming on the King of Pentacles. So it's re-establishing that you have your shift together, and you're good at what you do, and you're good at going through this kind of energy. I'm getting like, you're a star. So just, don't give up. Like, don't feel like, oh, the universe is beating up on me. It's just, there's a big energy shift happening. Destruction, progress, and motion. Yeah. So this is the energy of you feeling maybe like all your wishes are being dashed here. Like you thought this was going to be so awesome, and it's like, it's just being destroyed. But in some way here, it's saying there could be some progress here that you can't see, because you got the very happiest card right after that. And then, you're moving forward. The thing I'm noticing in this reading so far, and we don't have any communication from any of the knights or the pages to give you a clear, like, physical 3D answer. That's what I'm getting. Like you don't have like a phone call that you're waiting for, or there might be like, an email that you're waiting for, or you receive one and it causes that energy, and it's not clear. And so don't make really impulsive decisions right now. It won't benefit you. We have neutrality. And this is on this card. Get neutral. If you can get neutral to two extremes, then you can be neutral in between. And you'd be surprised, like some people, when they get really close to their goal, and that's what they're saying, just when they're about to succeed, that's when they blow it. That's when they do something impulsive, because you'd think, oh well, if everything's going really well, why would you do that? It's because people get triggered by extremes. So you need to get through both extremes and recognize that you can be in between. 21 is the world card is 21st card, that the major arcana. So the Fool starts off at the 0 point and goes through 21 cards to get to this point. And so this energy is talking about an end of a cycle of this not knowing, about halfway through the year. What are we? February, March, April, May, June, July. That things will change. There will be a change in this energy for you around that time. And it's another end of a cycle of this not knowing what to do. And isn't that about the time that your kids are done school, right? So that's what I just keep. And we've got the Libra energy, being a mature adult. This is about anticipating. See, now you can anticipate the journey instead of having limiting expectations. So the illusions that you have, the hidden parts that you can't see in this first half of the year are going to start being highlighted. And then we have total permission for authentic desires, and how anticlimactic that can be. You get what you want and then you don't want, oh, I didn't want this. That's the energy I'm feeling here. So that's kind of like, as you move into this energy, I feel like it's saying, look at, this is what you thought you wanted, and maybe it wasn't. Maybe you moved somewhere and you thought it was going to be all of that, and it's not. And now you want to do something different. It's okay. This is like that energy, just don't make the decisions impulsively. And then we have the anger coming in. And so the karmic space of anger is the gift that keeps on giving. So if you want to look at the blessings you have instead of looking at the negative side of it, if you can appreciate what you already have to work with, let go of the anger. I feel like this is out of your control, and that it's kind of like the energy I'm picking up is I've done everything that I thought I needed to do right, and no matter what I do, it's going to screw up like this, and you're angry about it, because why is it that when I did everything right, I'm in this position, and we're moving into this, we've got the Hierophant covering the competition here. So you might have had some shifty energy, and this is kind of my mean girls card. This is like narcissistic cheerleaders that will do anything to win, and you're on their team, but hey, if they want to be on top, then they'll find a way to do it. And if they don't succeed, their mothers will find a way for them to win. So that's the energy I'm getting that you've been dealing with. Office politics can be brutal. Some people never grow up. There we have the Earth Star energy, so reminding you you're a powerful manifester. And so what that card is also saying is, even if you're starting something new again, you have all this experience. And so once you know how to manifest, you know how to manifest. So chill out. And yeah, this is about integrity and having the strength to stay in your integrity, and also having the courage to do what you need to do, what's the right thing to do. And I'm getting that for a lot of you, this is like something you're going to need to have to do, probably, to be able to be successful in your career. Maybe you just have to make a change in location, and that's going to have to be what it is. But it'll all work out. Just stay, have the courage to stick it out. And one thing about the year of the fire horse also is horses are very courageous. I mean, they're used for so many, they've been used in battle, and like there's so many stories of them, being so brave as well, police horses and that kind of thing. So it's kind of like there's a lot of strength in this fire horse year for you. Just be very careful not to be impulsive. And I feel like you'll get through this and have this fulfillment. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please like and comment if you did, and hype me up. I don't know, I haven't figured out yet how you do that, but I'm sure it's right there somewhere. And consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy of the channel. And that would really empower me. I would really appreciate it. And I will do another reading for you astrologically at the beginning or the middle of the month. Bye for now, Pisces.